I can tell by their frequency whether they're ready to come home or not.
What does that
And when I
mean?
say
That's
come home,
amazing. Say more. Come home. What does come home mean?
the higher you go, the darker it gets. And that's the game. That's called expansion. And transformation and living as the divine, living as your higher self in your human being, is all about transmuting that pain, is all about alchemizing that hurt, the betrayal, the upset, the loneliness into higher frequencies of forgiveness, of compassion, of love, of creation. Living as your highest self, you become a leader, a spiritual leader for humanity, which truly means understanding the human being. That's not for the faint-hearted. And it means loving all of your humanity, all of it. And the more you love your humanity, the more you access your divinity. So when people come to me, Lindsay, they're ready to stop living from a place of what they think they should do, from a place of what society has expected of them, and they're just done with hiding. They're just really done with hiding. There's a healer in them. They know that their presence can heal others. There's a book in them. They get told consistently how much they've made a difference in someone else's life, but that little part in them has them keep it small. Until finally they're just like, I'm so tired of playing small. And so the clients that come to me, they finally surrender to the pain and the cost of what it is in hiding themselves, in playing small, and they're recognizing that the material wealth and all of the shiny stuff that they're taught to achieve and accomplish just doesn't fulfill them. And they stop looking outside of themselves to feel something within. And they're ready to come home. And they remember their gift. And they've always known that they've had a gift from a very young age. For over 15 years, I've become a master of impacting thousands of people because I understand true transformation. I was done living my life from my mind. I was done being armored up and guarded. I was done having a hardened heart. And when I went through my separation, it was a promise that I made for myself to never live from your mind anymore and live from your heart.
So interesting to me because you sent one of your clients to me, and in the middle of it, she did something with her heart. And so talk to me for a moment about, and I know that she's gone on to like exit a huge business and move into a whole new thing, and like massive stuff is happening for her. But the practice that you do with people, like she told me no. Well, don't say, I mean, anyone's welcome to say no to me, but generally they don't. She was like, okay, I think I want to work with you. And then she did the practice that you teach, and she's like, it's a no. So I'm not so curious about what the practice is, but I'm so curious about like, oh my gosh, can we give your meditation to people as a bonus? I was listening to it earlier today because that's the practice in part, right?
Yeah.
So tell me what I'm trying to untangle here. What is the thing that I'm trying, what is emerging from what I'm saying about that piece?
Your heart is your highest truth, and your heart is your highest knowing. And it goes beyond form. It goes beyond the body. And I believe that we all understand that we have this dimension within us that can access and feels truth. This place, this energetic place, is connected to something greater than a physical body. And when we connect to our heart, we hear the wisdom, we hear the truth. And this is the place where you can live from possibility and live in the unknown. And so the journey of being human is understanding where you're living from and where you're listening from. And this listening from your heart is radically different to listening from your mind. Listening from what you know, as in I consciously know, is listening from a filter of your 3-year-old, of your 7-year-old, of your 15-year-old. Now, I love my inner child. However, she has no business in my relationships, in my money and finances, in my health. She's not equipped. But my heart's wisdom is infinite.
Talk about the results that your clients get, because there are so many, like you can sound like, ooh, quantum esoteric, yes, but you like consistently have people who their businesses become huge or they go through. So talk about the kinds of things that happen for people, because like you healed your back. These are not like woo woo, like it's like the real deal. So can you talk about that a little bit so that people understand the, like, okay, I listened to my heart, but then reality changes.
I had 2 major car accidents. And I thought to myself, I'm in this fork in the road at the moment. What am I going to choose? Like, what future am I really creating here? So I remember walking out of the neurosurgeon's office, and I understand that as an infinite spiritual being having a human experience, we're meant to feel it all. And we're meant to feel it so I can surrender to it. And so I had this big cry in the car. And then I drive home and I place my hand on my heart as I'm walking in the door, placing my hand on my heart, and I sit down and I said, heart, what do I do? And my heart said, you can heal this. Now, up until this point, Lindsay, I already had a heart practice. So the heart says you can heal this, and then the mind says, go be practical. And so when the heart says you can heal this, I trusted it, and I took the next step, and I took the next step, and I took the next step. And it led me to a meditation practice that allowed me to access even more of this amazing infinite source that we all have access to. There's those of us who have been highly successful from a place of intelligence, from a place of being analytical, from a place of doing and hustling, and we are in the spiritual closet. So how do you integrate that? How do you actually live a spiritual life and share your spirituality, share your gift? Because there's a fear of losing what you have. Now, what I guide my clients through is being able to have that practice to come home to themselves. That it's safe to come home to your truth, that it's safe to come home to your heart and hear it.
Talk about the specificity, because I think that there's like a lot of people will buy a lot of books, right? Or watch a lot of videos or have a hobby, but they don't actually manifest the change. I'm always fascinated by the people who actually heal. And so, what is the thing that you find in the work that you do with people that causes people to heal?
So in healing, one, I give them, they have to have a really profound and empowering relationship to the word healing. Healing isn't fixing. Healing has nothing to do with fixing or getting rid of or suppressing. Healing, the truth of healing is being able to see from a place of wholeness this circumstance or the person or whatever is going on without any judgment of yourself. Now, to heal, I believe there's three things, and my framework is based on this: awareness, embodiment, and integration. We're highly aware. We read the books, we know the patterns, we understand what we're doing. Where we fall short, or where I think people struggle with the transformation process, is embodiment and integration. And in embodiment and integration, you are going to be uncomfortable and you need to do hard things. And those hard things become easier with practice.
There were one thing that you wanted the world to know. I sometimes think, like, if I had one message on my tombstone, what would it be?
That you are love.
Why does that make me sad?
It moves me because we forget that we are love. It moves me because the suffering in the world and the struggle and the feeling of being trapped by our pain is optional.
I'm compelled by what creates change. So it's like, who is that linchpin that turned that? Yes? Like, you've alchemized what you got and you're giving something different. What is that thing? Like, when people watch you and they go, I've got to work with you, like, you have such loyal clients. It is really like you walk on water to them. But when you speak to them, this is the other thing, because like I know you, and so you're so careful about having divine right clients. So what is that thing that allows you to know this is someone who can make that change?
I can hear it in their voice and I can feel it in their being. Like, the heart doesn't lie. And it's like when we walk into a room and we can feel the energy immediately, and we can feel what someone else is feeling. Now, this isn't empathy, and this is not being an empath, but there's a frequency that it's like playing an instrument. I've been able to play the instrument of my heart, and I can hear it and feel it and attune to it. I can tell by their frequency whether they're ready to come home or not.
What does that mean? That's amazing. Say more. Come home. What does come home mean?
Come home means whether they're ready to live from their heart, whether they're ready to live from their truth, whether they are willing to take responsibility for being an infinite spiritual being, having this human experience. Because a lot of us say we want love, a lot of us say that we want to live from love, but there's saying it and there's actually doing it. And the journey, I remember reading this somewhere, the journey, 18 inches from your head to your heart, that is the hardest journey that you'll ever go on, because you are breaking up with every identity that you have created to survive in this world, to hustle, to prove your worth, to beg for love, to survive being lonely, to survive being scared. And that means you have to break up with every identity, because there is no identity from the heart. There is just infinite experience in your truth. And this is raw, and this is real. This is me. And so I can feel, Lindsay, whether they're actually ready for it or not. because I don't think everyone's ready for it.
That's amazing, though, that you all can get on the phone with them and know if they're ready.
Mm.
So if they want to know if they're ready, they should click the link, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.